on-chain. Hey, on-chain revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck, sell it through the spec. Ordinals the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge, look at the chart.
Welcome back to On-Chain Revolution. My name is Shizzy on the channel to cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing interview for you guys today. So today we have the great Chef over at Oviato. So we had Oviato on, I want to say about a year ago at this point, and they were building these really cool Ordinal projects, doing a lot of like recursion. So if you had this giant like picture that was going to be really expensive, they broke it down using recursion to make it a lot cheaper for you guys into a bunch of different inscriptions that eventually was into one big one, right? So they've recently done a pivot, and I mean, obviously we've been in a bear market now for over a year. Ordinals, runes, everything really except Bitcoin itself. So you know, a lot of projects took a step back and really got to decide the future of your product. And a lot of cool ideas come to your head as well when you're a builder and you always want to build something, right? So they did a pivot recently, and we're going to dive into that pivot because it's really awesome. It's passkey wallet infrastructure built for social distribution. So it's really awesome what they're building here, and it does look like they're going to go live mainnet Q3. Right now they're in testnet, so we're going to get you guys all caught up on what they're building and what they're about. Really excited for this one. So without further ado, let's get the show started. Bring my partner here as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
Man? How you feel about Oviato?
Yeah, man, Oviato is a really cool team. You know, at the end of the day, you and I, when we first started doing this, you had your little slogan that, you know, we love projects. Projects are awesome, but, you know, we really love teams. You know, we want to know who the team is, get to know the team. And we did that with Oviato. You know, Shaf came on the show. When I was in Token 2049 in Singapore, I had the pleasure of meeting Shaf in person and his team. Amazing people. Unfortunately, I was feeling sick on that boat that day, but I got to meet them and then I bounced out a little bit. But like I said, amazing people. And whenever you see like a leader of a project in our space, like build and put their blood, sweat, and tears into something and kind of adjust to market and what's happening with the response of the market and market sentiment and all these things, and pivot to make a decision that can, you know, make that business continually grow and thrive. You know, you have a good business minded founder or leader, and that's exactly what seems to be the case here. And we're going to dive into it, and I can't wait to see what this is going to be, because it seems like it's going to be, you know, a pretty strong infrastructure type project, and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. Just to add on to that, I mean, infrastructure is one thing that we truly lack here in the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? So these guys saw something and they were like, let's build it, right? A lot of people have ideas and they just shrug them off, or they tell someone else about them. These guys seem to just jump in head first and say infrastructure is the most important thing, and we're going to build something for the ecosystem. So really excited to talk to them and kind of learn more about this, because I have so many questions. So without further ado, let's bring in Shaf. Shaf, welcome back to On-Chain Revolution. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Yo, GM, it's so nice to see you guys again. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
For sure. I remember we got to briefly meet in Singapore, and that was awesome. Your team is awesome as well. I remember meeting a couple of your guys on your team, but you know, you're an OG in the space. You know, you've been here since the beginning of Ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem, just really navigating as a builder and figuring out like where's our place. And it seems like you guys are starting to really lock into that. But before we get into that, you know, it was a while. It's been a big, long minute since the last time you were on the show. So if you wouldn't mind maybe doing a brief kind of, you know, back history of who you are as the leader, or, you know, like the founder of Oviato, leading up to where we are today with the current project.
Sure thing. Yeah, we actually got started building on Ordinals literally the first week of Ordinals coming out. So this was like me and Apo. Me and my co-founder Apo. We have three co-founders, but me and Apo were working on this project to build dynamic NFTs. We were trying to build a studio style tool where people can create these dynamic NFTs, and Apo actually called me up one weekend. He said, "Man, this thing called Ordinals theory dropped. We should look into it." And the more and more we read about it, it seems like this is it. Like, we got to jump on this thing. And then we even ended up creating the very first dynamic ordinals that changes based on the time you look at it. It's like in the sub 100K, something around 100K inscription.
Wow.
It took us longer because we couldn't even sync the node. So like on time, right? It took us 1 week basically. So we've been playing with ordinals for quite a while, and then we saw this opportunity to build tools for ordinals, like just to make life easier for people using it. And we started with a basic inscription tool, then went on to build this tool that creates massive inscriptions. You can like inscribe like 27, 30, like 30 megabyte images onto chain just using this drag and drop tool. And then we ended up also creating a tool where you can create large PFP collections. Again, a drag and drop tool, very easy to use. And after that, we also created a launchpad that basically integrates with all these tools. And we didn't do a GA of the launchpad. It's still in closed beta because once we were ready to release launchpad, we realized the ordinals usage has been going down quite a bit. And at the time, we had like around 25,000 artists who use our tools. And we one of actually our friend Mark, who's also been like working with us for quite a while, and we officially got him on board around this time, and we realized we had a minute to think ourselves, like, let's see what are the other things that is in our wheelhouse that we could look at. And we had a couple ideas that we were playing around. One thing that really popped up is this passkey. Passkey is something that all these like big companies like Apple and Microsoft and Google has been pushing quite heavily because it removes a lot of security issues that exist in Web 2 world, right? And the passkeys have the passkey technology has actually matured to a point where we could actually build serious things on it already. And we end up creating a Bitcoin wallet that is basically built on top of passkey. And we went down to the Vegas BTC conference. We had a demo on our devices, and just was showing to some people, and everybody is like, basically to create a Bitcoin wallet, it takes like 3 seconds. So just to give you an idea, if you download an extension, they show you your seed phrase. You got to write it down or copy it somewhere, write the passwords and all these things. Obviously, it takes more than 3 seconds, and also you got to be careful where you store your seed phrase, right? So we remove all these things, passwords and seed phrases, and just use passkeys. I'll show you guys a demo later. Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, right? I've just discovered passkeys myself from Google and stuff. Could you kind of explain what a passkey is?
So passkey is basically a way that you can securely encrypt a key and use the key without typing a password. And of course, there's always something behind it, right? So for example, in case of if you're using an Apple device, you are using your Face ID or Touch ID. And if you're using, again, Android, the same thing. And if you're using, for example, you want to store your passkey on a YubiKey or maybe on your ledger, you can do that also, right? So it's just a way to remove the password from the equation. And what we've figured out is a novel way to create this wallets on top of passkeys, and it's also self-custody. So the beauty of this is it just works like any other wallet. And of course, going back to Vegas, the more we actually show this demo to people, like everybody's like, wow, this is amazing. How do I use this in my product? Like, and one thing we kept realizing is like, instead of us trying to build a wallet, of course we can build a wallet, our reach is going to be like, we are basically going against all the other wallet companies and trying to get this market share, right? But what we could do is we could actually open up this technology for everybody to use, so we all benefit, right? And this means like if somebody is building basically a swap that starts inside Twitter and goes into Safari and completes the whole thing on the mobile phone without installing anything, or if somebody is building micropayments in their existing products to accept crypto payments, again using Face ID and Touch ID, right? All these possibilities are there, right? So that's why we realized like we got to build a wallet as a service so other people can use it.
Yeah, I think that's smart because it's kind of like not necessarily entering yourself directly into the competition, which is, by the way, the wallet industry is. If you feel like it's going to be if it's saturated now, think about where it's going to be in 2 years, right? It's going to be even more and more saturated. But if you can offer the service, then you're actually kind of being a servicer to all of the saturated market, right? So it's actually being a part of that. So that's awesome. I am in the camp to where this is one of the friction points that existed for normies to not come over to Web3. So having this, passkey type of step is going to be like, it's that smooth onboarding process. And so really excited about this. So let's get into that. So Oviato has this passkey native wallet infrastructure that you guys are building. Are you solely focused on the Bitcoin ecosystem right now, or are you kind of like, okay, we know the Bitcoin tech stack and how that works, and we're also now opening up to EVM, SVM, to all these other, chain agnostic basically mindset. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure thing. Actually, the way Oviato, the passkey and the whole stack works is there is an ID, and this ID right now is basically the only thing. Let me just show you guys the demo. I think it'll be so much easier to talk about it. Okay, how can I present my screen? Share screen.
Yep.
Okay, let me just share my entire screen. Okay, so let me know when you can see the screen.
Yep, I think we just add. Oh, we gotta remove Shizu there.
There you go.
There you are.
Okay, so this is actually one of the playground demos that we built just so people can experience how this works. So the only thing that you gotta do is you have to just key in a username. So for example, let's just call it Shizi test. We're gonna create wallet for Shizi. And so if you want to actually build your login interface, you can change the logo, you can change the colors and all these things, and you can also enable other networks, right? So you just key in a username, and your username is basically shizitest.ovi.id, and this is a Nostra supported ID. So in the future, you will be able to use the same domain or ID for Nostra apps also. And the other cool thing is this ID is actually chain agnostic. So you can have any chain wallets that you want enabled in here. So, okay, you just sign in with passkey, and here we're just explaining what's going to happen. And you said just start registration, and I'm scanning my Touch ID here. And once my Touch ID is scanned, it's basically asking me to scan again so that I can log into the wallet. So that's it. Your wallet is created. And the passkey that we used is basically stored in the iCloud keychain in this case. So you can see here the wallet address. You can send funds to this wallet. This is on testnet 4. And here you can also see the return, the JSON return from this action. So we can already see like what are the wallet addresses. Yeah, the wallet address is over here. And also the username. So
awesome. Yeah.
Again, like if you, for example, if you want to log into a wallet, the same thing. Let me just log into one of my test wallets. You just, because the username is already taken, it just says that you need to sign into this wallet, not register. So scan my Touch ID, and this is it. You're in. So you can also see in here the transactions, like transaction status actually coming, like incoming funds and things.
Gotcha. So the Touch ID, is there like a hardware like that you put your thumb on, or is it?
Yes, in my Mac, because I'm actually just using my Mac for this. My Mac has a Touch ID, right? So I just put my finger
Gotcha.
on the Touch ID and it works. But if I use my phone, it basically uses my Face ID. And the same passkey that I just created this wallet with, I can just open on my browser here and scan my face, and it will just log me into the same wallet.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you want to export your seed phrase, which we really don't recommend, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can just,
Emergency
again,
cases, right?
yeah, if you can basically scan your scan the whole thing is to generate the seed phrase. You need to scan with your passkey, basically touch ID or face ID, then only the seed phrase gets generated. The reason that we don't recommend it is because when you generate a seed phrase, you need to store it somewhere. So now you're taking up this security risk of, okay, where do I store this thing? Security. Yeah. So there is just this is a very small demo of what we are working on. And of course, you will be able to do all kinds of things, like being able to select other networks as a developer. You can say, I want to enable Bitcoin, or I want to enable like EVM under EVM, like multiple chains, or even Ripple and Solana. And when you select Bitcoin, you can decide what are the features that you want your users to have access to. So it could be just send and receive, or it could be ordinals or runes. Like you can do a lot of things without really getting into the weeds of building on Bitcoin, but just using simple APIs.
Yeah.
This is like the best onboarding tool ever, right? Because like when normies come online, they're not going to want to deal with the seed phrase. They're not going to want to do that. And if they do, they're going to screenshot it and leave it in their phone. Right? This is a way around that, to where they're already used to signing in and doing all this stuff. So this is like a great onboarding tool for the next, generation of crypto users.
And also all the generation, right? Like my parents, if I want to get my parents on Bitcoin, like right now, I'll be like, okay, how are you going to store the seed phrase? Like, what are you going to do with it? You have to install this extension. You got to install this thing. No, you can't open that browser on your phone. It won't work. You have to go into the wallets and open the browser in there. Like all these things, right? It just, like, we got so used to it. It's just, this thing is like, of course that's how it is supposed to be, right? But when you ask somebody like, a bit older, it's like, oh, this is so complex. Like, I don't know what to do here. So yeah, this is why we like just removing all this friction. So yeah,
exactly. But also this is, once you start to really ramp up into your B2B process there, I think this is going to make a lot of wallets happy, right? Because now they don't have to really spend so many resources internally to build this out. Just use a simple API and add this feature into it. But when you export the seed phrase, is it exported TXT file?
It's just, you can basically copy paste it, right?
Gotcha. So that's the way I do it. But I agree, like, having this option instead of saying, like, for a normie, they don't think like us. We think like, okay, if I'm going to export my seed phrase, I need 5 steps of security. You know what I mean? Like, we automatically think that, but a normie is just like, okay, I'm going to upload it to my
I'll save it on the
computer.
text file.
There you go. There you go. And I'm gonna make sure I email it to all my email addresses that I have and my best friends, so they know whenever I'm in emergency. So exactly. I think this is exactly, in my opinion, a part of like that evolutionary process of mainstream adoption. This is that next step. So I love this, what you guys are doing.
And there is, of course, this is just a very beginning. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. Like, some of the things is like, if an end user doesn't want to have their passkey stored just on their iCloud, but they also want to have a backup, maybe a hardware backup, we're going to be opening up these possibilities also. So as a developer, you literally just have a buffet of things that you can offer to your users. Just click, and that's all. Yeah.
And I see you guys, just looking on the site and stuff, you guys have some pretty solid backing as well. So, they see the talent with your team. And, me having some personal conversations with you guys in Singapore, I think a lot of that has to do with your track record, having history, whether that's Web 2 and Web 3 as well. But you see the likes of Draper, you see Bitcoin Frontier Fund. We know that Trevor's a part of that. CoinGecko Ventures as well. So, I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be able to kind of morph this continuously into, because, like you said, it's just a start, right? Eventually,
Yeah.
it's getting that UI UX to be as smooth as possible for the not so savvy crypto user.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, the people that we've demoed to, like, there is already like ranges from a wallet company who is building a wallet who want to use our tech, all the way to coffee chain who want to use crypto payments inside their existing payments. So like we already have all these interested clients who want to use our products. So we're just really just getting everything ready, and it's a really small team. I mean, it's me and Apo and Mark, and then Teflon just helping us on the marketing side. Yeah, it's a really small team. So yeah. And in
So-
terms of investors, yeah, I think the most recent one is actually Draper and Boost VC. They've been amazing. I mean, we actually went down to San Mateo and walked from their offices. Even it's just even from the Draper U. So it's been an amazing experience actually to work with these people. Yeah.
You guys were a part of Draper U?
We were actually part of Bitcoin Fi. So Bitcoin Fi, because of that, we actually got to stay with Draper U, and we even had our demo day. I think it was last week. Well, the week before last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's the plan for you guys? So I'm seeing on your website potential launch on Q3. Is this going to be?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to open source this? Or are you guys going to start like reaching out to wallets and stuff like that? Like what's the plan next?
So right now our plan is basically we are gearing up to get all the mainnet functionalities with ordinals and everything rolled in and release it around August. So we're looking at like mid to late August. And we'll be, of course, getting developers. And the whole thing is we want to make sure as many developers can actually build on this. So it's going to be free to start with. And once you reach a certain user base, then you would have to pay. I mean, again, the charges are going to be just really next to nothing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm seeing that demo on the site as well with the X approach, and that's really, really cool as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff. Yeah, we've been just non-stop cooking, I think. And the other thing is, again, like I totally forgot to mention this. We've got this question, like, does this mean that you're just gonna drop all the ordinal things that we build, like the studio and things a lot of people use it? So the answer is no. We actually moved all the ordinal tools to a different home. It's called Ovi.Fun. It's basically our playground where we build all kinds of stuff. So what we'll be doing is we will be it's basically Ovi.Fun. We'll be integrating all the wallet SDKs and everything in here also, so you can, of course, use this use it here as an end user and play around with the SDKs. Yeah, so we're going to be releasing our SDKs also really soon, just getting things ready. So yeah, that's a lot of work, but yeah, fun.
It's an awesome step too, right? Like you guys still have this product, and that was one thing that I thought when I first went to the Oviato site. I was like, oh wow, they did a full pivot, but no, in reality, you guys just moved it to a Ovi.Fun, which is more of a secondary website for you guys to kind of keep this going, but also build the passkey, which is kind of the future and the infrastructure play that you guys are doing. This is absolutely awesome, man, that you guys are doing this. And I mean, the demo was awesome, by the way. So, but would love to give you the stage for one last time to kind of talk to the audience if there's anything left out or anything else.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, this is the pitch time, right? So yeah, if any of you are building an app or thinking of building an app on Bitcoin, not just on layer 1, even on other layers like layer 2s, or even if you're thinking of building something on Lightning, just reach out to us. We actually build in the infra to take a lot of these heavy lifting for you guys, so that you can focus on the UI UX of the actual product rather than having to wrangle all these complexities. Yeah, just do reach out to us. I think the best way would be Twitter, or I don't know, Telegram. Even I can drop my Telegram here, right? It's Chef the Cook. That's my Telegram. Just drop me a message. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put everything in the show notes for everybody.
Oh,
So you guys
yeah,
go
it's
down there. You'll
perfect.
have the
Thank you.
Twitter, you'll have the website and everything. And I'll actually put your Telegram as well. But thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Chef. We'll talk
All
to you
right,
soon,
thank you.
sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was absolutely awesome, man. Shaf is somebody who's been, like we said, OG, and somebody who I think we truly believe in this guy. Like when he reached out to us the very first time, we got to meet him, so it was really cool. And this time it was like, I'm just watching his Twitter. Right? I'm watching what he's doing, because I know that he's going to build something that is going to like be huge. Because not only is he somebody who's early to Ordinals, early to Bitcoin, but he's a Web 2 guy, right? He made a lot of money in Web 2. He sold a company in Web 2. This guy, he's not here for the money, and that's one thing, the best part about him.
Yeah, and when you have a track record of success like that, then you know what it takes to be successful, right? As a business owner, founder, etc. And so that's why, I'm excited to see where him and his team take this. But definitely a cool and educational. I don't know why I can't talk this morning, but educational episode there. So we thank you guys for checking us out and learning about Oviato and this passkey product that they're going to roll out with. We appreciate you guys always supporting us in the show. It's amazing. If you could check out our partners, greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal, DEX aggregator of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Really simple, straight to the point. Swap runes there. You can go to satsterminal.com and earn Amber points by using the platform. BetBTC is like a decentralized poly market, guys. You're going to be able to create your own markets there, earn 1.5% of the total volume. You can actually participate in their blitz markets, which is a 10-minute kind of perps type of style markets for BNB, Bitcoin, and Solana. Head over to betbtc.win to learn more there. And then Emblem Vault, they're an interoperability tooling for Ordinals. You can be able to jump them from Bitcoin to other ecosystems. They also have their Agent Hustle tool that you can use for Solana, help you guide you through that ecosystem. And then they have their TGE rune in September, October, which is going to be a Bitcoin rune. So head over to emblem.vision, learn all about those products there. And then Artura Finance is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to be launching, hopefully, this coming Monday on Botonic's mainnet. But they're also going to be launching on Hemi Bitcoin Layer 2 as well soon after that. Big stuff for this team. You're going to be able to trade Bitcoin fungibles there. Head over to artura.finance to learn more. Fluid Tokens, they are a UTXO team that is just like focused on building and really having solutions for Cardano, Bitcoin, and they're willing to build anywhere, but they have staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. Check that out. You have the Aquarium platform on Cardano as well. Head over to fluidtokens.com, dive in there. And then Tokyo Wallet, multi-chain, smart wallet, built for best UI, UX. You can swap for runes. You can swap for Cardano tokens there. And they're going to be adding support for the public for Sui very, very soon. Head over to Tokyo.io. You can learn all about that wallet. And then Merlin Chain, big news from them. They got listed on Kraken today, so that's huge. So check that out. They have an AI tool called the Wizard 0.3, guides you through Merlin Chain's ecosystem. You can stake, help secure the chain there. There's 3 different options, Bitcoin, and 2 options for Merlin Chain token, a day-to-day or a 6-month lockup, 15% APR or 45% APR there. Just make sure you check them out at merlinchain.io. All that information is there. And our integrated partners, Jungle, which is building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and the first-person shooter game Cypher Striker, and Ordinal Hive is an Ordinal aggregator marketplace where you're going to find the cheapest Ordinals around. Thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job on that, man. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, it's one of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, head over to onchainrevolution.io. We seriously, everyone should have a VPN. Honestly, it's stupid not to. It's $3 a month, right? Again, use our link though. If you go to NordVPN, they're going to charge you $10 a month. But if you use our link on our website, it'll actually just charge you $3. Lock it in for 2 years, because if you lock it in for 3 months, then you got to pay the $10. If you lock it in for a year after that, then you got to pay $10. Lock it in for 2 years with our discount and set it, forget it, and you're good to go. And then anytime you go to a website, you don't have to worry about anyone getting your IP address. And we have some of the best merch there as well. Check out all of our merch there right on the top right-hand side of the screen. Click that. It'll take you to our third-party Shopify. We have shirts, jackets, hoodies, and so much more. Check it all out at onchainrevolution.io. And guys, we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution, roll call, market recap. You're not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How do the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and arching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.